Brother Edmundo Fernandez, FSC, Chancellor Ben Hurong, Vice Chancellors, Deans, Associate Deans, Administrators, Faculty, Associates, guest speaker, my fellow Fulbright and PAF scholar, Miss Maria Ressa, parents, friends here and friends all over the world, and fellow Benildian Lasallian graduates, a blessed morning to you all. First and foremost, I want to congratulate each and every one of you for making it here today. Your presence is a testament to overcoming sleepless nights, countless group projects, and numerous challenges we've gone through together, online or face-to-face. For me, the journey to this graduation ceremony was particularly challenging. I almost didn't make it because I just returned from a seminar in Malaysia last night. While waiting at the airport, I recalled a timely story about a young boy who asked his father about the size of God. In response, the father pointed to a plane in the sky and asked the boy how big it was. The boy said, "It looked very small because it was far away." Then the father took him to the airport and asked the same question. This time, the plane is up close. The boy exclaimed that the plane was huge. The father then explained that God's presence in our lives feels greater or smaller depending on how close we are to Him. The closer we get to God, the more significant He becomes in our lives. Now, how is this relevant? Today, I want to share 3 stories that embody the core values of a Lasallian student: faith, service, and communion. These stories reflect the most repeated phrase we have said throughout our journey as Benildian Lasallians: live Jesus in our hearts. The heart of a person is the center of who they are. When people talk about the heart, they often mean the deepest part of a person. So how do we truly live Jesus in our hearts, in the deepest parts of our lives? This is the story of faith. There was a time when I almost had to stop school due to financial constraints. Raised by a single mother and uncle, we struggled to afford the quality education offered at this college. I started as a culture and arts scholar, but when the pandemic hit, unfortunately, the office had to lay off scholars due to financial difficulties. Of course, I was devastated, unsure how we could afford the next 3 to 4 years. But during a difficult conversation with my mother and my tito, they simply said these 3 words: God will provide. And of course, without a concrete plan, those words seemed unrealistic to me. In my mind, I was saying, how can a seemingly impossible problem be solved by God will provide? But then, months later, I received an opportunity that helped me finance my education, and a relative reached out to help. These 2 blessings allowed me to stand in front of you today. It all made sense then. God had the answer all along. My takeaway from this is we must remind ourselves that we are not in control of our lives. Friends, we just have to remain faithful and loyal to God, no matter how uncertain it may be. I wouldn't be here today if my family and I hadn't remained faithful to His plans. Have you ever found yourself in the middle of creating a crucial project only for it to crash without saving? Yet somehow you manage to bounce back and submit it before the deadline. Or perhaps you almost failed a class due to unforeseen circumstances. But here you are today, celebrating the completion of those courses. Remember the times you faced challenges and felt there were no answers, yet you managed to get through them. That is faith in action. This leads us to another crucial aspect of our journey, which is service. My time at the Salle-College of St. Benilde offered numerous opportunities to serve, both on campus and on campus. One highlight was my involvement in Student Trainers, a volunteer organization focused on community building and leadership formation. During the peak of the pandemic, I led a project called #Mcaine 2022, Pilipino para sa Pilipinas, which educated the Benildian community on their roles and responsibilities beyond the classroom. Here, we learned that being a Filipino citizen is more than just a legal status. It is a responsibility to our nation. Attorney Chel Diokno, one of our speakers, emphasized that in time when fake news is rampant, serving others and standing up for what is right and true is crucial. We must be vigilant to ensure that our bright future is not stolen from us. Another inspiring figure who spoke at our event was Miss Ana Patricia Non, the organizer of the Maginhawa Community Pantry. She sparked a nationwide movement of kindness and solidarity during the pandemic by setting up a small bamboo cart with groceries and a sign that read, "Magbigay ayon sa kakayahan, kumuha batay sa pangangailangan. Give what you can and take what you need." This simple act inspired thousands of similar community pantries across the country, embodying the true spirit of bayanihan and communal unity. Dedication and compassion are highlighted in the power of community and mutual aid in times of crisis. This is what serving can do, upholding what is right. Benildian Lasallian graduates, we don't need to go far to see that there are communities in need. Just outside our campuses, we see people who require our assistance. It is within our reach to make a difference, to extend our hands and hearts in service to those around us. So may we all be reminded that the Philippines is not just built by a person or a few, but by every Filipino who chooses to see the light in every situation and continues to act with love for our God, our nation, and our brothers and sisters. Service teaches us that our actions, no matter how small, can create ripples of change. Finally, let's talk about communion. Last year, with an acceptance rate of approximately 1% in the Philippines, I was honored to be chosen among the top students from esteemed universities across the country to participate in an exchange program in the United States. It being my first time in the US, I had many expectations influenced by mainstream media. So, with leaving on a jet plane as my background music, I packed my luggage filled with OOTDs, or outfit of the days, I planned to take videos of, TikTok videos of. I dreamt of experiencing the American dream with big cities, blinding lights, envisioning a main character moment, as we Gen Zs like to say. However, upon arrival, I was shocked to find myself in Emporia in the state of Kansas, one of the smallest communities and also one of the smallest states in the US. I felt like I had been kidnapped. I felt like I had been transported to the middle of a flat grassland area in the middle of nowhere. I wondered, where are the big buildings, the bright lights, the fashionable people? I had envisioned feeling like a Hollywood superstar, so during breaks and vacations, my international friends and I traveled to various states and cities. New York, Chicago, Los Angeles. But to be frank with all of you, nothing felt more fulfilling than my time in Emporia, Kansas, in the middle of nowhere. I came to understand that God had a different plan for me. He placed me in this small town not to make me feel isolated, but to help me meet a community that profoundly impacted me. I was introduced to a community that embraced my culture and my being. Without this community, I would not have encountered Jesus as deeply as I did. I realized that I did not know everything, and this community taught me that. Before going to the US, I believed that doing good deeds, doing the right things, would earn me a place in heaven. However, I discovered that true fulfillment comes from surrendering myself to Jesus and allowing His teachings to guide my actions. Benildian Lasallian graduates, it is not the blinding lights or the pursuit of the American dream that we find true fulfillment, but in the communities we build and the people we consider home. Friends, to ask Jesus to live in one's heart is to surrender completely, trust fully, and remain humble. So I look forward to the day when living Jesus in our hearts is no longer just a phrase that we are forced to say every day, but a lifestyle that we embody every day. The question now is, how do we live Jesus in our hearts beyond our campus? How do we embody our core values and principles, whatever they may be, beyond the halls of this institution? As we step into the world beyond these halls, let us carry the torch of our Lasallian values into our workplaces and communities. Let our art speak of compassion and justice. Let our leadership be guided by integrity and empathy. Let our governance prioritize the welfare of all. Let our teachings inspire minds and hearts. Let our performances and designs reflect beauty and truth. Let our film tell stories of hope and transformation. And let our hospitality welcome all with warmth and inclusivity. As we celebrate this milestone, of course, I want to take this moment to express our deepest gratitude to the parents and parental figures of my fellow graduates, to our professors, friends, and everyone who has supported us on this journey. Your unwavering support, guidance, and encouragement have been instrumental in shaping who we are today. Lastly, as you can see, I am wearing 2 heavy medals today, and I worked hard to earn them because 2 of the most influential people in my life are here, and I offer one to each of them. I would like to thank my tito and my mama because you have put a pause on your dreams and your lives just so mine can flourish and continue. For this, I am eternally grateful. Benildian Lasallian graduates, will you become the person who sees the plane from a distance, or will you strive to experience the plane up close, appreciating its true magnitude? Are we content to view life's challenges and opportunities from a distance? Or are we prepared to immerse ourselves in life's uncharted territories? Let us carry forward the values of faith, service, and communion as we embark on our next adventures. Let us support one another, serve our communities, and live out the mission of our Lasallian education. Let us be the change we want to see and truly live Jesus in our hearts forever. Animo, Benilde!